Hey guys, and welcome to episode 7 of the Happy Knitting Podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm so happy that you're here today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try to keep it short today because I already recorded once and it was terrible, and there is someone coming to fix something in our apartment, so there will be a break, but I'll just try to get as much done before as I can. Sorry. I'm drinking chai tea as usual. So just get into it. I have 2 blocked FOs, but you've seen the FOs before. I have a few works in progress. I want to share the first knit along that I'll be hosting, and I have some spinning, and I just have a few stories of things that happened lately. So to start off, I had 2 finished objects last week. And the first one was the Come What May shawl by Susan B. Anderson, which I knit in a cotton yarn from Vietnam. And I blocked it, and as you can see, it is worse than before. I blocked it twice with 2 different methods. I tried it hanging down and like weighing it down the bottom. And then I tried it lying it flat. I don't have pins, but I stretched it and it just pops back into shape, or like into the wrong shape. I don't know what's wrong with that, so I've gotten some advice from a few Instagram viewers, and I will probably try to get some blocking wires. Oh my god! And try blocking it again. Because right now it looks terrible. It wears great, but it looks terrible. I've worn it a bit, so that's why it looks so scrunched up. But that's that. Then last week I showed you the banana leaf by Yuki Ueda, which is a Japanese designer, I guess. And I've blocked it, and as you can see, I think it's really pretty. So this was knit in my hand-dyed merino lace yarn, and it's come out really nice. I really like the colors. And at first I wasn't too sure about the yarn because it's a little bit, it had a weird stitch definition, but after blocking it's perfect. It feels very nice and structured, and I really like it. So I've been wearing it a lot, that's why it's also a little bit scrunched up, but you still get the idea. So that's that. Then I have 2 works in progress, which you've already seen, and both of them I'm kind of at a point where I'm sick of them, but they just don't end. So the first of them is my Beckingham Scar, and it's by Windle Straw Designs, and as you can see, it has become quite big, and that's because I've been trying to finish it, but it just doesn't want to be finished. I've been knitting so many repeats. It's a 12-row repeat pattern, but it just doesn't end, and I'm so frustrated. So this is where I was last time down here, so you can see I've done a lot of progress. But I'm only at, I think, 110 centimeters, which is definitely too short. So I need to keep going, and I've been really knitting on this like a maniac. So the yarn is Lana Grossa Kohu Melange in the colorway 490, and I still love this yarn. My boyfriend picked out the color, and he picked out really well. I really enjoy this. And the stitch definition in this yarn is just so fantastic. I'm loving it. And it's a super wash. So I think if I ever finish this, it will be a project that will last him for a very long time. And this is being knit on 3.5mm bamboo needles. So I'm hoping I'll have that finished next week. I really just want to finish it. The second project, which I'm kind of tired and sick of, but I still love like the finished product, I think, is my Relaxed Cardigan by Rico Designs, and it is an oversized sweater, and it is pretty simple. I'm knitting it in the round, whereas the pattern says to knit it flat, but I haven't seen a reason why to do all that purling, because it is all in stockinette, and there's a few eyelets which I chose not to do. So let me I have separated for the sleeves. So the bottom marker there, that's where I was last time. And I have knit the increases for the arms in the round. I'm not sure if you can see them. Yeah, you kind of can. And then I have separated for the sleeves. So now I'm knitting the front. And this is in Drops Alpaca in the colorway 3969. And as you can see, it's a pretty thin yarn. I'm using 3.0 millimeter needles. So this is really just taking a lot of time. So again, I wanted this to be finished, but there is just no way. Ideally, I would have it finished next week, but again, I have quite a bit of stuff to do. So yeah, that's that. That's my relaxed cardigan or sweater. I love the color. It's coming out a bit too bright. It's kind of like a dark red with purple and blue undertones. And I think it'll be a perfect garment to wear, because I'm trying to knit more things that I'll actually wear, because most of the sweaters I've knit I'm not wearing at all. Like, I just went by, I chose yarn and I just decided to do something with the yarn, and they're just not sweaters that are very compatible with anything. So I'm trying to be better and knitting things that I actually need. And then I cast on a new project, and that is with the yarn that I showed you last week. It is a indie dye yarn from Germany by a Davanda seller called Knitterin, like knit, like K-N-I-T, A-R-I-N. And this is what it looks like balled up. And as you can see, the ball isn't that big anymore, and that's because I finished one sock and I also started the second one. So this is not a self-striping yarn, this is crazy pooling, but I'm loving it. I'm usually not a big pooling fan, but I love this sock. So I did a twisted rib, 20 rounds, then I did a cuff, I did the slip stitch reinforced heel with a heel flap and gusset, which looks like this. And then I did the foot. Oops, sorry, there's yarn hanging onto it. So, basic vanilla sock. And I have started the second one. And this just went flying off the needles. I went back to using DPNs, and I'm just so much faster with DPNs. But I had a few disasters. So, originally I had other DPNs which worked fine, but they were bent. So I got these ones from my grandma, and they're not bent, and they're also 2.25 millimeter needles, which is my favorite needle size for socks. And the first thing I noticed was that my socks were coming out too short, like the finished pairs. And that is because I measure the length of the sock with my needles. And only after 2 or 3 pairs of too short socks I realized that my new needles, they're not 20 centimeters long, they're 19 centimeters long. I mean, in what world do you make that happen? Like, that is just so stupid. So I basically knit all my socks to 1 centimeter too short. And I'm just so upset by that. Like, that's just such a stupid thing to happen. And it's just because, I mean, like, how would I notice that my new needles have, I think it's less than 1 centimeter difference to the old ones. But then I got over that, and only after finishing the first sock, and I was like about here, the second one, I realized that one of my new needles was thicker than the other ones. So I had 4 2.25 and 1 2.5 millimeter needles. How stupid is that? So then I went back to my old bent sock needles, and so now I'm using 1 old one and 4 new ones, which is ridiculous. I mean, like, why does that happen to me? And then today I wanted to finish my socks, or to keep knitting on my socks, and I've lost a needle. I mean, what's going on? This is so ridiculous. I feel embarrassed telling you all about that, but it just has become this whole sock dilemma or sock needle dilemma. I've never lost a DPN needle. I don't know what's happened. I've looked everywhere. I'm gonna look again. Maybe it'll turn up. But yeah, so I've had a few issues with my needles. But I still love using DPNs. It goes so fast. And I've ordered new needles. I've ordered the new Knit Pro Zings, which are DPNs by Knit Pro. And I ordered them in the 2.25 size again, but I've ordered the 15 centimeter ones because I think they might be more handy to use. So I'm excited to get them because I think they're just coming out in Germany today, or at least Amazon only has them from today. So they should come in the next few days. And I ordered those before I even had the whole needle disaster. So looking back, it's perfect that I ordered new ones. But yeah, so that's my sock story for today. I think that's all my works in progress. Yes, I'm going fast, that's good. I have been doing some spinning. I'm still spinning my braid, which I showed you before I went away. I think it's a Marino. I've shown a few photos on Instagram, but the purple doesn't really come out. It's more purple than it looks on the photos. And this is I got a lot of cheap Merino tops when I started spinning because I just wanted to get the hang of spinning before I dig into expensive fiber. So this is most of it. This is a single, and I just wrote it onto a toilet paper roll so I can then ply it. So I think this is about 80 grams. And then I'm trying to spin the rest up today so I can ply it. So that's my drop spindle. It's the one with the thing at the bottom. And as you can see, I've done a fair bit and I have a little bit to go, but I think I should be able to spin that today. So I'm not sure if I'll just two-ply it with itself or if I'll ply it with a thread, but I'll figure something out. And I always have my spinning in like a basket like this because it's just so handy. I love this because I don't know, how do you store your spinning things? For me, this is the easiest way to do it. So that's spinning. Then I have fabrics. So I ordered fabrics back when I was in Vietnam. I ordered them because I was lying awake at night and my boyfriend was sleeping. So what does a crazy crafty person do? Of course I ordered things. So I ordered yarn and I ordered fabrics. And I ordered them from this person called tollpatschig, which is a pun because tollpatschig means clumsy in German, and obviously there's the word patch, like patchwork in there. So I think that's cute. And with the order, I got a cute little full of love bag. And I got those little mini charms, I guess, which are cute. I didn't order these just came. And that's cute. And then I ordered jelly rolls. I ordered 2 of these. These are the ones that I really, really wanted. I can tell you what they are. It's called the Darling Patchwork Collection. I mean, how cute are they? They're like dark navy blue, grays, and pink. And I think both of them together will make a perfect quilt top. And I'm so excited about that. Then I got 2 more. I got those 2. I think this one was like 40% off, otherwise I wouldn't have gotten it, but it's quite cute. And I do like this one. And then I got more. So I don't know if you know, there's this designer apparently, it's called Jolly Ju, and they have all these different patterns, and I just ordered 2 sets of fat quarters, the blue set and the purple set, because again they were 40% off. So I have this as well, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So I ordered all that, and the thing is, I picked up my sewing machine. I sewed something with it. Hang on, I'll be right back. So I'm back. Sorry, that took about an hour or something because my boyfriend came home for the workers to be there, but then the workers didn't show up. But it's all figured out now. So I was just talking about my sewing, and I got my sewing machine, and I just wanted to get some practice and figure out the machine. So what I did was this little tiny little bag, and these were all like tiny charm squares that I sewed together, and I added a little button and like this sort of lining, So nothing special, but I was just fighting with the sewing machine a lot, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but it does make really strange noises. Like in the beginning I thought maybe it just needs to wear off a little bit and it'll be fine, but it did start to worry me. So as soon as I got it here and I had my beautiful fabrics and everything, I had to give it away again, and it's getting fixed. Or, well, they say they're gonna do like a normal cleanup and, you know, get everything running again, which should take 2 to 3 weeks, unfortunately. And if there is anything majorly broken that will be more expensive, they will let me know. So fingers crossed that it's not properly broken, but I don't think so. I think it's just been sitting and not being used for 10 years or something. So yes, fingers crossed my sewing machine will at some point actually be there and be ready for me to work on it. But I was really sad to give it away, to be honest, and especially because it took so long, or it would take so long. But I think it's important that it works well for me to learn on it as well. So I feel like at least when I get it back, I know that everything will run smoothly, hopefully, and I can focus on the actual sewing part rather than fixing my machine. So that's it about sewing, I think. Now to a very, very exciting topic, my first knit along. So I have been thinking about several knit along ideas for a while, and I finally made a decision and I'm really happy with it, and I want to host a challenge knit along. And the reason for that is that, I mean, I think we all do a lot of mindless knitting, and I do really, really need that. Like, I enjoy my vanilla socks and I enjoy my stockinette patterns, and it's good to do, you know, relax and knit and not have to think. But I find at the moment that I need a little bit, like, I need some more challenges, and I'm more and more enjoying more difficult patterns and different things, and it feels good to try something new because you realize that you're improving and that you're, you know, getting new skills. So I want to host a challenge KAL, which will work in the way that I, and hopefully you, will post a list of challenges that you want to face, and that doesn't have to be anything big. I feel like it sounds really like daunting, but it's not. I don't want to limit this to knitting, so for me sewing is going to be a challenge. You can do crochet, you can dye yarn for the first time, or you can try a new method of dyeing. You can, what else could you do? You can spin, you can knit, you can crochet, and it's not about doing the most complicated lace pattern ever if you've never done a lace project, or you don't have to necessarily do something for the first time. It just needs to be a challenge for you. So to give you some examples, what I want to learn is I want to learn how to do brioche and color work. I know I just missed Nessa's brioche along from the Kill Craft podcast. Because I was away, I didn't have time. But that's something that's on my list. Then my boyfriend's sweater will be on that list. Even though, I mean, a sweater isn't hard. Like, I don't know, like, it's not a hard pattern. I've knit sweaters before. But this is the first time that I'm knitting a sweater for someone, for my boyfriend. I've knit a few jackets for my girlfriends, but that's different. And I'm really worried about getting the right size and him not liking it. So for me, that's a big challenge, even though it's not like the most difficult project in the world. Also, I'm gonna knit with, I'm gonna receive my nicer fibers from Fondant Fiber, which I'm so excited about. And I mean, I have never spun, I have spun a lot, but I've spun with cheap, crappy yarn fibers. And so for me, you know, using nice fibers and trying her fuzzlings and stuff, that's gonna be a challenge for me as well. What else? I have so many challenges. I do want to do a pattern sock again. I haven't done it in like a year. So, like, there's so many possibilities for challenges that you could try. And really, it can be anything. Like, I really don't want to be strict about it. I think it's also not even going to be so much about the finished objects, but more about the chatter, because the point of, you know, knit along for challenges and maybe things that you haven't tried before is that we can all communicate and that we can talk to each other and share resources. Some people have already given me great resources for sewing, so that's going to go in there. And I just want everyone to, be inspired and have fun and maybe take on a project that you wanted to take on for a long time and haven't really dared to do. So that's the rough idea of it. There will be a chatter thread where I really, really hope that you might want to post some of your ideas and your challenges, your personal challenges, etc. There will be an FO thread, and I want to, for now, run it until the end of the year because I feel like it takes time. Like, maybe you can knit a pair of socks in a month, but maybe your challenge is a bigger challenge, or you can it doesn't have to be one project. You can enter as many projects as you want. I mean, of course, if you knit 10 baby hats, I would appreciate it if you only do one post, but that's about the only limit there. If you feel like you're already knitting on a project that's a challenge for you, that's fine. I would say anything, unless it's like 80% finished, works in progress is totally okay. But I'm gonna, I think of some new challenges for me and maybe specifically order things for that, etc. So I'm really trying to make the most of this, and I'm gonna use it for myself. Like, I think it's gonna give me motivation to try things, to finish things, to go through with things. So yeah, I just hope that you might feel the same way and you have some ideas of what you would like to try or to do or to push yourself to finally tackle, and etc. I had something else to say about that. Oh yeah, for prizes, I have one skein of yarn that I want to give away, which is the cotton that I showed you last week, just because I thought it was really good, but obviously that's not going to be a whole prize by itself. And if you are a yarn dyer, if you are a designer, if you have patterns, if you design project bags, stitch markers, whatever, of course I would absolutely love it if you want to donate gifts, giveaway prizes, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I think the giveaway prizes will eventually just happen. But if you do want to donate, of course, I would be so grateful for that. I would love to share that. So yes, I will run it until the end of the year for now, but I feel like if it's gonna, it might as well be an ongoing challenge, knit alongs. So I'm just gonna see how many people want to participate and how much I'm getting out of it, because I am doing it for selfish reasons as well. And if we do decide to run it for longer, I mean, we can always just do random drawings, or like there doesn't have to be a deadline and then it has to be over, etc. So that's the idea for now. I really, really hope that some of you guys want to join. I would really love that, especially because I feel like for a knit along like that, it would be, it all stands and falls with the chatter and people participating and talking to each other and stuff. So I'm really excited to see your ideas, because I have so many ideas and I love seeing other people's ideas, and it just inspires me a lot. I think that's my way of doing things. Like, I'm just one of these people who I will see something for 10 times, and only when someone else is doing it I feel like, oh yeah, I could do that, why not? And then I really enjoy it. So that's the idea behind that challenge, KAL. So of course, do let me know what you think. And all of this will be happening in the Ravelry group, which is the Happy Knitting Podcast group. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. So now I'll go into what has been happening here. I hope I'm not gonna say anything twice, because I recorded before and now I've had this whole break in this recording. So yeah, I'm sorry if I do repeat myself. So jet lag hit me quite hard after I recorded last week. My boyfriend was fine, but I was always up at like 5:30 in the morning, and then I was tired during the day, I wasn't hungry, I was hungry during the night, I had headaches, and I had a bit of a toothache problem, which I still haven't solved that. I'm still in denial about that, because I think it might be my wisdom teeth that want to get out. But I'm denying that at the moment. So I went home to see my family. It was my mom's birthday, and she had a brunch with her friends, and then in the night we all went out with our family and like some family friends for dinner, and it was really, really fun, even though I was already half asleep before the food even came. But it was really, really fun to spend some time with my family, and it's really hard to divide my time up, so I give enough attention to my sisters and my parents and my grandparents, and my family is a little bit crazy as well, but it all worked out and it was really fun. Obviously, I spent a lot of time sewing. Then I came back to Würzburg, and I caught up with a friend. It's really nice because most of my friends are moving away. Most of them, because I'm doing my master's now, and a lot of them just finished their bachelor degree and they either started working somewhere else or they're doing their master's degree somewhere else. So I have this one friend who's been in America for a year doing his master's, and he's coming back now to do his PhD here. So I'm so happy because I'm like, yay, finally someone is coming back instead of leaving. So I caught up with my friend. We were gonna go to IKEA on Saturday to buy my yarn shelf, but it was a public holiday and I forgot. So thankfully my friend reminded me on the Friday afternoon, so I had enough time to actually go shopping, because otherwise we would have had nothing to eat for the whole weekend, and obviously that cancelled out our IKEA plans. So then I had to work really hard to convince my boyfriend to go with me yesterday, which was the Monday, because he wasn't very excited about that. And we went. We had a rough idea of what we wanted, but then we were kind of torn between two kinds of shelves. And that's because I wanted to put those transparent containers in the shelf for my yarn. And obviously different shelves had different systems, so we're trying to figure it all out. And finally I found someone in the shelving area of IKEA and asked him, and he was just like, no idea. Why would I care? Go downstairs and maybe someone will tell you there. And it was really rude, especially like we were in the right section of IKEA, and like no one would help us, and I was really upset by that. Oh, I just thought it was so strange. But then so we walked around IKEA with those boxes and tried everything, and we bought a shelf and we built it up. My boyfriend did a lot of the building up actually while I made dinner. And I put all my yarn into boxes, and now I have a beautiful yarn shelf, which I will insert a picture of here. So I am just so happy with that. I know I need some more boxes, and I have ordered a lot of yarn, so hopefully that will come, and then it will definitely not fit anymore. But I have so much space left in my huge shelf. Like there's so many places that I could still put more yarn, and it's just so fun to organize it all. I still have a box of leftover yarns that I'm not happy with, because I feel like I can't give them away or I can't throw them away, but then they're really yarns that I'll never use again. So I'm still a bit clueless as what to do with that. And then I still have huge bags of yarns which I got from my grandma, and they're all beautiful yarns, but they're all leftovers as well. So I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do with that. But I finally have a shelf, and that's the main thing. So this week I want to catch up with a few more friends who I haven't seen since I've come back. I need to figure out some work stuff, and uni is starting next week. Tomorrow I'll find out if I got into the course that I wanted. I mean, just like one class that I really wanted to get into, especially because I'm only doing one class this semester. So I really want to get into this one, which is like children's psychiatry, because otherwise I will have to do media and communications for half a year, and I'm not too excited about that. I mean, it would be interesting, but I mean, I'm studying to be a family counselor eventually, so it would just make more sense. So that's that. As I said, I ordered some more yarn, and I wanted to talk about that to you quickly, because I'm trying to buy more yarn from local indie dyers or whatever, because I feel like everyone talks about the same sort of brands, and I mean, they're amazing. I would love to have Madeline Tosh and Quince & Co. and Knit Picks. Not that Knit Picks are super fancy, but like, you know, all the brands that we don't get and a lot of people use, or like Malabrigo, Hedgehog Fibers. There's a lot of great brands out there and they're exciting, but I feel like there are yarns in Germany, and there's a lot of yarns in Germany that I don't even know about. So I want to get to know some more German indie dyers. I'm sure all of you know Bärenwolle, which is German, and I think that's quite famous now. And there's a few more, but I had a look on the internet, and there are so many names that I've never heard before. So I want to share the love and try some German yarns just to see how they are. And maybe, who knows, maybe they're fantastic. So I ordered a yarn called Tausendschön. And it was supposed to arrive today, but it didn't, so I will show that to you next week. I ordered a lot of it. And I have some more plans of ordering yarn eventually. And so I'm just trying to maybe incorporate some more German brands into my podcast, so I can tell you guys about it, and sometimes it just makes more sense. I mean, you know, if I can order from Germany, or if I have to order, you know, from the other side of the world, it just makes more sense to order it here or to buy it here. So I'm gonna try that. I'm thinking what else I can tell you. I think, sorry, the whole break really threw me off. But I think that's it for this week. So please do join the Ravelry group. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, post in the Ask Away thread. Please do give me all suggestions and everything you think about it. Like if I'm making a mistake, if I keep doing the same stupid thing, don't be afraid to tell me. And please give me some feedback on the knit along. Is that something you're interested in? Because if you're not, please be honest with me. I'd rather you be honest with me now than, you know, put a lot of effort into everything and then finding out later that it's just not really what people want to do. So let me know if that's interesting for you. If you do send me a message, a comment, whatever, I always love hearing from you guys. So feel free to do that anytime. You can find me on Ravelry as wuepfi, which is WUEPFI, which is a whole story that I will tell another time about how that name happened. Then on Instagram, I'm the Happy Knitting Podcast, and as I said, the Ravelry group is the Happy Knitting Podcast group. Thank you so much for listening and for watching, and thank you so much to all of you who come back every time I record. It really means a lot, and I'm really starting to feel the sense of community, and I love chatting to everyone, so I just hope it'll continue like that. So I hope you have a great week and weekend. I hope you have a lot of knitting time, especially because here the weather is not very good, so it's just perfect to sit inside and drink tea or coffee and knit. I hope you buy lots of yarn, because yarn makes people happy. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.